deliver water to the area. Frustrated residents from Coronationville and Westbury have blocked major roads today near the Rahima Musa Hospital. They say for years they've had to endure inconsistent water supply. The protest comes just a day after Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi delivered his State of the Province address. During the address, he announced that 760 million rand will be allocated towards a permanent solution to address the province's water challenges. Residents say they don't believe anything the Premier says.
I don't believe him at all, because they are all just making believe that they are telling us the truth. All of government, I don't believe in them, because they all with promises.
I don't think they're promising anything right now. They're busy lying to us. For 6 years I've seen it, they're busy lying to us. So there's no promise guaranteed in that.
Suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya has refuted claims that there was an agreement for one of his subordinates to be the middleman, facilitating communication between himself and alleged criminal tender tycoon Vusimuzi Matlala. Sibiya is back providing testimony at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry in Pretoria today. Evidence presented before the commission shows a series of WhatsApp exchanges that Sergeant Vaninkosi facilitated between Sibiya and Matlala over the course of a year. Oren Singh reports.
During testimony of Shadrack Sibiya's subordinate, Sergeant Fani Nkosi, it emerged that he was being used as a middleman to pass messages between his then boss, Sibiya, and alleged criminal kingpin, Vusimuzi Matlala. But Sibiya vehemently denies that there was ever an agreement or meeting to arrange such facilitation to that effect in respect of Nkosi's role.
There was never a meeting, no instance where we sat down and we agreed that Mr. Nkosi will be our go-in-between. Yes, I do accept that I actually was talking to him. And in most instances, I didn't even know that some of the things that I'm talking to him, he would automatically just send to him. Some of the thing was just meant for me and him.
A series of WhatsApp exchanges presented before the commission shows Nkosi would often forward messages from Matlala to Sibiya and vice versa. Oren Singh, Eyewitness News.
Northwest businessman Brown Mabotja has been questioned on whether he really is a legitimate police crime intelligence agent. Mabotja is responding to questions before Parliament's ad hoc committee probing allegations of police corruption today. Submissions have been made by various senior police officials who dispute Mabotja's intelligence credentials. Mabotja is alleged to be a central figure in allegations of corruption and political interference in the criminal justice system. But Mabotja insists he was a police asset that was registered and later deregistered on the crime intelligence system. Mabotja says denials of his credentials are part of a plan to discredit him.
And how does Lieutenant General Khumalo comes in? I'm saying that because he's the divisional head of crime intelligence. It's amazing, it's surprising. Even one of the journalists asked me, how can a Lieutenant General, a divisional commissioner does not know you, whereas you claim to be whatever? I'm saying he had to deal with Major General Lushaba to ensure that they discredit me. They even say they don't even know about me. That's where the fabrication comes from.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has placed the implementation of the National Health Insurance Fund on hold, pending a constitutional court ruling on legal challenges to this legislation. It has been nearly 2 years since the president signed the NHI into law, a measure aimed at providing universal, free and equitable access to healthcare for all. Several organizations have launched legal challenges against the act, with the Constitutional Court expected to hear the matter in May. The applications stem from challenges asking the court to declare the NHI's public participation process constitutionally flawed. Presidency spokesperson Vincent Magwenya says the president has opted to wait for the outcome of the legal showdown before proceeding with implementing the act.
The Department of Health will continue in its constitutional responsibility to strengthen the health system and improve the quality of care. The department has also indicated that preparatory work has been ongoing, such as the improvement of health services, before any sections of the NHI Act are ready for commencement.
And in Nigeria, an investigation is underway to determine the cause of a fire which broke out at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport yesterday. 6 people were injured and the blaze caused a temporary suspension of flights. The fire, which affected control tower operations, was brought under control and traffic resumed shortly afterwards. The flames damaged the airport's departures hall, which was being renovated as part of a large-scale project costing an estimated $530 million. Gold is trading at $5,172.43 an ounce. The rand is at 15.99 to the dollar, 21.58 to the pound, 18.85 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $71.49 a barrel.
Well, at this stage, if you're leaving the Joburg CBD, expect some delays. This is on the M2 westbound between the Crown Interchange and Main Reef Road. Also traveling through Marlborough heading towards Midrand. There's slow-moving traffic on the N3 northbound between Marlborough Drive and the Kilulis Interchange.
It's a cloudy afternoon in Gauteng with isolated showers and thundershowers expected. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 23 and 24 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, staff at the Cape Town International Airport has confirmed a fire at one of the terminals, causing some delays to arrivals.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Your brain's a well-oiled machine. Now put it to work in the brain of 702. Enter on primemediaplus.com. T's and C's apply.
You're with Relebogile Mabotja.
Live, streaming countrywide
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856
92.7
and 106 FM.
Nine minutes after 1 o'clock. Welcome to 702 Afternoons with me, Relebogile Mabotja, on this 24th of February, a Tuesday. And I'm so looking forward to getting into conversations with all of you. We try to bring you things that you're like, actually, why is this happening? And we have one of those for you today in the show. Want to talk about workplace contributions. Which are the ones that you are asked to contribute towards that do not make sense? Maybe of what the contribution is, maybe in terms of what they're specifically asking for. And we've heard some horror stories. People are being asked to contribute the same amount each when the CEO and the intern are all contributing the same. So I want to hear from all of you, the horror stories you've heard, or maybe it is those very, very specific experiences that you have had yourself or found yourself in a situation where you had to say, guys, I can't, especially if they make these contributions compulsory. Let's hear from you on that. Our tech feature, we're going to speak about AI and whether it can, and tech, and whether they can help South African young people find work. We know that's always a big topic of conversation. Mike Steyn, founder and operations director of Aspire, will join us for that conversation. The series edition in the second hour of the show. I've so been enjoying this particular series. It's episode 4 on gun power, gun safety and control. Today we talk about care, maintenance and safe storage of your gun power. Themba Kubeka will join us again, South African security operator and firearms safety advocate. And then we wrap up with the car feature. talking about bumper repair and vehicle safety and understanding the connection. Ravi Chetty, Vice Chair of SAMBRA, that's the South African Motor Body Repairers Association, joins us, along with Yuan Hanekom, National Director of SAMBRA, the same body, South African Motor Body Repairers Association. So get in touch with us, give us a call. 011 883 0702, SMS us 31702, tweet at Relebogile M, at Radio 702 using the hashtag 702 afternoons, and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702.
702 afternoons
With Relebogile Mabotja.
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
There's a conversation happening at the moment around workplace contributions. Now, I want to find out from all of you, at your place of work, are there certain contributions that are expected of you? Are they compulsory? And what events do these contributions center around? Is it birthdays? Is it if somebody has lost an immediate family member? And are these contributions prescriptive where they say, guys, we're all contributing 250 Rand to Sbanibani's baby shower, or we're all contributing X? Now, I've even heard of stories so extreme that people must contribute towards their year-end functions. I think we touched on year-end functions and how they've been a reflection of the economy, where I shared that there are companies that were like, yes, but bring your own food and then bring your own drinks. But contributions that also go to the point of like, it's birthdays, there's funerals, and you'll find different scenarios. But I want to play a short clip and I will translate after, so you can hear how excessive the conversation of contributions can go. I don't have that much experience in corporate, but I can speak to our place of work. There are no compulsory contributions. Whenever somebody has lost a family member, or in the past, couple of months, we lost two very close colleagues, it was voluntary. It's voluntary, and the company will even say, we will, put together transport. We will, we all club together. When it comes to birthdays, people choose what they want to do, but it's never prescriptive. And I prefer it that way because you don't know what situations people are living in at home. Secondly, not everybody's in the same position. Not everybody is in the same position. But I hear that you can contribute to people's retirements, to people's resignations, and so many other things. But get in touch with us, 011 883 0702, the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702, as we take a listen to what Ponozi Mncube has to say, where she says, guys, I have a bone to pick with workplace contributions.
Guys, I have another bone to pick. The bone I'm picking today is workplace contributions. Guys, can I be honest? I can't many contributions that make sense. Which is contributed at the workplace, money that don't make sense. For example, if we that makes sense, we're going to contribute towards it. Umnikelo. Na khona futhi that needs to be regulated. Ungasitsheli ukuthi sikhiphe malini. Mhlawumbe sinike range ke ngoba imholo yethu ayifani. Angeke ngikhiphe imali efanayo mina as a CEO, the same money mina ngisa intern kulo company leyo. Engibona ukuthi right i-maternity singayikhiphela i-maternity ukuthi ngiyabona sikusupport nje sikunika ama-gift for ukuthi ukhulele nakhona futhi not necessary, but ningakwenza lokho oni-contribute, it's fine. Kodwa lento yokuthi manje sicontributela ama-birthday emsebenzini, sicontributela ukuthi khona umuntu oresignile. Umuntu uma eresignile, guys, they're going to a better job, better pay. Sina sihleli la in a hell place, kodwa sinamele sikhiphele wena imali. I can't spend imali lapha where I'm supposed to make money. I don't want to spend my money where I'm making my money. I want to spend it elsewhere. This other workplace I used to work for, contribute for the fact that you've been hired. You are expected to buy everyone in the company Nando's with your first pay.
Can you believe, hey, that for having your first job, I would see it as like an initiation that now you must buy everybody food. Guys, some people's, like when you get your first job, your money is to pay back everybody who contributed to you having transport money and clothes to wear to work. So I need to understand, what are the contributions that are being asked of you in your workplace? And which are the ones that do not make sense? Which are the ones that are unreasonable? The ones of funerals for me is rooted in Ubuntu. That's what communities do. So we will always get told when somebody has lost an immediate family member. We will always get informed. And it's also good that we know so we can approach with sensitivity and be aware. But some of the other ones, and I'm going to read you a WhatsApp that's just come in now. Relebogile, I never understood a baby shower for a person twice with no bridal shower. From Anonymous in Kempton Park. Anonymous. Okay. You are entering a different level of territory. So let me respond within the context of the conversation we're having. Going to 2 baby showers without a bridal shower. Let us recognize that some people don't want to get married. Some people might be married and are not telling you, or maybe did not do a bridal shower. And the part about baby showers, I stand to be corrected because we've never had that on our team. But I think the way it works is your team members will decide to do something for you before you go on maternity leave. Am I correct, Pashida? Pashida usually knows everybody and everything in the building. So they can decide. So let's say Pashida is with child. We can decide and maybe we'll club together and say, okay, guys, she's going on maternity leave on this day. Let's contribute. But it won't be prescriptive because not everybody has those monies. So let's talk about these workplace contributions. What do you feel is unreasonable? What do you feel is unfair? And do you think that maybe these should be regulated? A very clear set of rules of what employers should be expected to contribute to. And in fairness, if something is going to be compulsory, I would expect that, put it in my contract, that you're going to be expected to contribute X at the company. The 1 year end, if I ever get told contribute to year end, I'm going to say don't do it. If we must contribute, it means you can't we are not doing it. That's my view. Want to hear from you? 011 883 0702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
What does this milestone represent? 20 years of Meetings Africa. What does it represent for South Africa's business event industry?
What this has done is it has actually shifted completely the role of the business, my sector space, purely focusing on them being a player, significant contributor as well into the economy.
Tia Data, the Chief Strategy Officer at South African Tourism.
Clement Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
In 2026, Meetings Africa celebrates its 20th anniversary, a remarkable milestone in shaping Africa's business events landscape. Owned by South African Tourism, this flagship trade show has spent 2 decades serving as the definitive market access platform for African business events, products connecting the continent to the world. This special edition includes a dynamic 2-day trade show preceded by Bon Day, a collaborative platform for insights, innovation, and skills development, shaping the future of the sector. Visit meetingsafrica.co.za to learn more.
I heard she's got a recruiter team working 24/7.
That one. She has a secret supply of talent.
I knew it. She's definitely keeping a secret from us.
Nothing mysterious, guys. It's SA Youth, South Africa's largest youth online recruitment platform. Fast to post, effortless to use, and effective every time.
Recruit on the portal to potential. sayouth.co.za. Powering South Africa's youth workforce.
New deals for the Checkers extravaganza are here. Save extra on top picks, like Kellogg's Cornflakes 1 kg for $74.99. Cadbury chocolate slabs 150 grams, any 2 for 75 rand. And Parmalat Everfresh Long Life Milk, 1 litre 6-pack, 2 for 189 rand. Valid until 1 March, only at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
This is financial year end. This is financial year end supercharged with the help of Zero Small Business Accounting Software. Try Zero free for 30 days. Terms apply. Search Zero with an X.
702 was in conversation with Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking, discussing the African Markets Conference 2026.
This is the second year we're hosting it in South Africa. It's an event we previously hosted internationally, where, as you correctly put it, we bring together policymakers across the continent with allocators of capital which are based both in the continent and, more interestingly, globally. And that is really to do a couple of things. First is to connect them and the capital to some of the large infrastructure gaps that require large swathes of capital across the continent, but also equally for the regulators to hear directly from investors in terms of the environment that they require to be able to show confidence in allocating this capital.
Standard Bank CIB, host of the African Markets Conference 2026, engaging with leaders, turning ambition into investable action on 702.
702 Afternoons
with Relebogile Mabotja.
23 minutes after 1 o'clock, and we are talking about workplace contributions, those that you think just do not make sense, maybe because they are compulsory and not voluntary as you feel they should be. Maybe there are certain things that you're like, why are we even doing this at work? Things like, if you just started, you have to buy everybody Nando's. Like, I have never heard of that in my life. I heard of that today. Things like, or as one of our listeners said, why are we doing 2 baby showers with no bridal shower? Things like bringing your own food to certain things, but there's certain contributions which are set at the same price for everybody, meaning the CEO and you, as I just started at work, are paying the same amount of money for a contribution. And should these things be regulated? And if they're compulsory, should they not be in your contract up front? Like, tell me from the beginning. 011 883 0702, the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702. Here are some of your voice notes.
Relebogile, please keep me anonymous for obvious reasons, but I gotta tell you about this workplace contribution thing, which recently hurt my feelings. So my male colleague was about to be a dad. So my manager, I'm the only woman in the department, and my manager suggested that I lead gathering money so we can contribute towards a gift for the dad. Now, at first I said yes, I wasn't really applying myself, but I thought about it because I had become a mom a few years before that in the department, and no one did anything for me. And there was even another woman in the department, and none of them thought to do anything for me, buy me, not even flowers. And now this guy who's about to be a dad must be bought something. And he only joined the department recently. He's not even a year in the department. So I was wondering how. Do not all lives matter? Like, clearly, how do we not have a blanket approach, blanket rules for everybody? We're not all treated fairly. And
that is a tough one. I think I'd also be annoyed. If it happened a couple of years after, maybe it became a new policy. And if they're asking you to do it, then it should have been mentioned. Like, hey, we're trying to change things up and actually contribute when somebody's about to be a parent. But if somebody's saying to you, please gather the monies, this person's about to be a dad, and when you became a mom recently and nobody did anything, you must say, I would love to gather contributions, the very same that I got when I became a mom. That's all you say. Because I'm sorry, I think, Aishem, I get exactly where you're coming from. Nobody considered you or the other woman but the dad, unless the dad was like, the pampas. I'm a pampas. And then people were like, maybe we must get those contributions. More of your voice notes.
Hi, Relebogile. Busi here from Sonland Park in Vereeniging. If it's a funeral, yes, we can contribute it, especially if it's your parents, your child, or your siblings. but that's where it ends. No uncles, no malumegazi, no. If it's a baby shower, it has to be your immediate team. And if it's your first child, we cannot be contributing to baby shower for a second child, third child, fourth child, fifth child. No. If it's a birthday, it has to be a birthday club. Not that if it's your birthday, we have to contribute. No. And then, yeah, that's fair. But I understand. And also, we shouldn't be prescribed how much we should contribute. We should contribute whatever that we can afford.
I've got so many questions. So let me start with the second, third, and fourth born. Wait, don't people need baby showers more the more children they have? So maybe I don't have an issue with contributing to a second, third child. I know that the history of baby showers is to shower the mother with all the things she would need for her first baby. So you would assume that the second baby is going to have hand-me-downs. But in this economy, you can make it. What do the men call their showers? Diapers and something. Diapers and beers. I don't know what that thing is called. I don't have an issue with that. And then the part about funerals, the only issue I have with us saying, no, it must be your parents or siblings or children, is some people do not have parents. The people that raise them are their grandmothers. So if that's the person they know as parent, are we going to say, no, that's your grandmother technically, or that's malume? What if that malume is the only parent that they know? But I get where you're coming from is it mustn't be prescriptive, and maybe let's have certain boundaries around certain issues. Semi in Centurion, what are your thoughts? Hi.
Good day, I think that this whole thing of contributions at work, they are just personal things. So they should be done among you and your friends, even if it's a funeral. Because if we're going to make it compulsory, what if I join a company, I even leave without having had a funeral at home? Or maybe if they say it's for baby shower, I'm a man, I don't fall pregnant. So it means I'm excluded. I'm being discriminated against.
Wait, but Sammy, wait. The other lady ka voice note ya haine, what she did say, yes. And keep in mind, the baby shower, you don't get excluded. She said that where she was working, they didn't do anything when the ladies were pregnant. But when one of the new gents started working there, they did do a shower, diapers, one of those things for him of gathering contributions. So let's assume it applies to men and women, as long as you're becoming a parent.
But for example, I don't want children. Right? I don't want children.
Oh, so for you don't want to contribute because you don't want to be a dad.
Yeah, so I'm not part of a party, right? So I'm saying, if these things are just personal things, they've got nothing to do with the workplace. Even if your family member is passed away, those that want to contribute, they will contribute. Because, as I said earlier, what if I join a company I work for even for 30 years without having a funeral, without having a funeral at home? So it means that no, I'm not part of the plan. So they should just be left there because some people will even dictate, no, let's contribute 50 rands. And if you don't have money at the time, then you are suddenly sell out. So I just think this whole thing of Ubuntu sometimes is just a scam.
Sammy and Centurion. Thank you so much, Sammy and Centurion. Guys, Ubuntu is a scam. One thing that's not a scam, though, is us giving away money. The Mahindra Fusion Fest quiz is coming up. To enter WhatsApp, the WhatsApp Mahindra, as in the words Mahindra, to 072 702 and 702 with your name and ID number. We could be calling you back to play for up to 10,000 Rand cash and 2 tickets to the fest. Decide music, fashion, or art on 702. T's and C's apply. It's 1:30, time for your latest eyewitness news headlines. Yo, Mbali baru Ubuntu is a scam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I really wish I shared the same sentiments. I'm a person for Ubuntu.
Hi, Linna, babes.
I promise you. Well, thank you, Relebogile. Good afternoon. Staff at the Cape Town International Airport has confirmed a fire at one of the terminals causing some delays to arrivals. That fire broke out earlier today. It's understood an electrical fault at the international terminal may have been the cause. Staff has told passengers arriving from Johannesburg today that the fire has cut off communication lines and left parts of the airport in the dark. Police have been deployed to monitor the tense situation in Coronationville after residents stopped a water tanker from delivering water to that area. Frustrated residents from that area as well as Westbury have blocked major roads near the Rahima Musa Hospital. They say for years now they've had to endure inconsistent water supply. And President Cyril Ramaphosa has reiterated that the investigation into the circumstances that led to 17 men being lured to Russia under the guise of getting a job is continuing. 4 of the men returned from Russia last week after government's intervention. They left South Africa thinking they would be employed in high-paying jobs, only to find out they would be in the front lines of the Russia-Ukraine war. Well, those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 2 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, if you're leaving the Joburg CBD, we still have slow-moving traffic. This is on the M2 westbound between the Crown Interchange and Main Reef Road. Otherwise, the rest of 702 land looking really good. No serious accidents have been reported on our highways. Just look out for those faulty traffic lights, though. That's in Marlborough at Marlborough Drive and Xenia. Traffic lights still not working in Edenville, Modderfontein Road and Laurie, as well as in Midrand at Olifantsfontein Road and the N1 South. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
These kind of cases of visa fraud and maladministration, all of the officials, you could hear the SIU describing them in detail, not mentioning names, but we know who they are. We are coming for them.
Yeah.
We had 275 criminal referrals, and we're looking at the visas themselves. Remember, there's a perpetrator on the other side as well who bribes people to get these documents. We're also going after those processes and those documents.
Minister, do we need to rethink, particularly how we allow religious leaders from foreign countries to operate in this one? I mean, surely the ability to preach isn't a scarce skill. South Africans should be able to do it. I can do it.
No, we need to absolutely rethink how we do all of this, Bongani.
Dr. Leon Schreiber.
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
Mzansi, with only 6 numbers to match, play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 82 million rand in total estimated jackpots this Tuesday. Don't delay. Play Powerball for an estimated 55 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 27 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store, nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app or cell phone banking. Panda, push a play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Clientele is here to safeguard you and your family with compassion because life happens. Be part of a family that truly cares. Our funeral dignity plans have helped South Africans bury their loved ones with dignity for more than 30 years. Let us help you create a meaningful tribute that honors your life and those of your loved ones. We pay out within 24 hours and you will get double accident cover with a clientele funeral plan. Our plans are affordable. Pick the option that suits your needs. It's easy to apply. No medical examinations and no paperwork. SMS funeral to 31586. That's 31586. Clientele Life is an authorized FSP and licensed life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Meetings Africa is celebrating 20 years in 2026. Over the years, Meetings Africa has connected Africa to the world through a consistent showcase of Africa's diverse offering of services and products in the meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibition sector. Join us at the Sandton Convention Center from the 23rd to 25th February 2026. Register at www.meetingsafrica.co.za. Brought to you by South African Tourism.
John Perlman. Weekday afternoons,
3 to 6.
There is something of a tendency with some government officials to create obstacles for people so that they are then induced to offer some kind of bribe to get what they want. Do you have a sense of how many of the people who paid the bribes would ordinarily have been entitled to those visas?
I think both. We find people who willingly know that they don't have the correct documentation.
Okay.
And then they come and bribe. But there are instances where people will make it clear that we cannot help you, but you can come after hours, we can help you.
John Perlman.
3 to 6 on 702.
702 Afternoon Drive with John Perlman is proudly brought to you by Telkom Business. Possible begins here.
Your voice,
Your life.
your afternoon radio
On 702 Afternoons.
with Relebogile Mabotja.
24 minutes to 2 o'clock. We talk about workplace contributions that do not make sense to you. From birthdays to funerals to baby showers, what should the limitations be? What is considered as unreasonable? If you're not trying to ever have kids, does it make sense that you're being asked to contribute to somebody's baby shower or somebody becoming a dad? And when it comes to funerals, how far should it go? Can we say moracha malome can be contributed towards, or should it just be voluntarily, not prescriptive, and without the amount being, shared with you to say everybody we're contributing 500 Rand to this particular cause? 011 883 0702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 and 702. Let's go to the lines. From Boksburg, it's my Bitso Sbongile. How's it?
Hi, ke teng o kae Relebogile?
How's Sbongile o buang Sesotho ha monate jwang, babes?
Ai, wena ke re o bua Sesotho, that's why ke bua Sesotho, but
Yo.
ke ngakhuluma.
Ayo. So what do you...
Andaba ngoba sikho lapho.
Ne, asikho lapho.
Yes.
All right, so tell me what you think is fair or unfair.
For me, what's fair is for funerals. But also, like we have it here at work, but we only contribute when it's your parents, when it's your mom and it's your dad. I don't have parents, my parents are late, but I do contribute. What I will never stand for, baby shower. Ay, phela nangidala ngeke ngisaba nengane. Yo, I will never.
She's
Baby
basically
shower.
saying I'm old to be contributing. Wait, you know what, Bongile? You can contribute with advice.
Angeke, soze, uzophinda futhi. Ufana nale yakhola ethi 2 baby showers, no bridal. Uzophinda futhi athi hayi siyazi Sibongile uzofika nge-advice.
Wait, I need to translate what Sbongile is saying. Sbongile is saying, firstly, she's too old to contribute to baby showers. So I'm saying contribute advice. Then she says no, because then they're going to do it again. Now even worse, it's another baby shower, no bridal.
Yo, imagine. Finally, resignation. Even resignation, I will contribute on retirement. In esteem, retirement. Uyabona?
Yes.
In esteem, not resignation. You leaving me here, mina ngilongihola ama peanuts when you told a better offer, and then I must help you. I must give you something. Soze.
Sbongile, you are so passionate about this.
I get it.
Thank you so much.
I said this one. Thank you, my darling.
Thank you so much. Guys, Sbongile's made my day. Because if you make it nice for the person, they're going to just have another baby and another baby in essence. Also, if you're leaving to get a better job, why are we contributing to your resignation when we're stuck here getting paid peanuts? Let's look at some of your voice notes on 072 702 and 702.
Hi, Relebogile. In me, I don't mind contributing at all because we're not forced to. It's, at your own will. But there's one thing that I always find amazing sometimes, which I've experienced a long time ago. We contribute for someone who has resigned. And then, it was a lot of money, bought gifts and everything. And 2 months down the line, the person is back to employ. So I think with the resignations, that was funny for me, that what happens now. Anyway, it's Busiso from Vodapur.
Thank you so much. Some of your messages that have come through on the WhatsApp line. Beer and diapers Huggies and Chuggies Papa Party because I couldn't remember what it is called when it's a baby shower for gents, basically. Ross says, Lebo, I'm not contributing to a baby shower. A friend hid her pregnancy from me. When it was time for the baby shower, my 400 Rand was needed. I said no gracefully. Baby showers somehow replace bridal showers. Yo, guys, it's a lot. Good day, Relebogile team. I know a certain workplace where employees are forced to contribute for Bos Barad, which happens every year. My understanding, Bos Barad is a strategic planning gathering. But with this workplace, it is done yearly without testing what agreed upon the previous year or whether it's working or not. To me, it's a year-end function coded as a Bos Barad. Man, may employees be left to breathe as they can't. Bosses, leaders, we see you. I got an email to contribute to a baby shower. That time I'm new here. I don't even know the people to that level. I mean, how would you guys feel if they're like the CEO's mother passed away? Please contribute. The CEO's Mang passed away, you must contribute your 400 rands. Lebogile, understand this one. It's usually done by ladies when they want money for a baby shower. Now this discriminates me as I'm a male. So should they contribute to me because I have made my girl pregnant? What if I have 2 girls or more? You are bringing new subjects into the conversation that sound like you're trying to tell us about your life. Sir, if you're going to have 2 children at the same time, you got to pick the one that you're going to do a baby shower for. Actually, say at work, guys, I'm expecting a child. And then you split the gifts because unless it's your second wife, but even then we're going to be like, sir. Another one says, George says, not necessary to contribute. Work is work. These aren't your friends or family. Perhaps a contribution for a tragic death. But if your 82-year-old parent dies, that's not tragic. There's too many expectations for contributions at work. Our guys, 82 is young. Now my granny died at 96. 82 is young. Let's contribute. Vaynant from Florida says, I won't contribute to you in functions because that's a way for the company to say thank you for your excellent work done from Jan to December. And if there's no money for it, it means the management didn't do their work and failed the company. Another one says, unnecessary at the workplace. We were once asked to contribute towards the manager's gift. I never contributed a cent because they earn more than us and do not value us. I work at a university. I've been expected to contribute to numerous baby and wedding things. But when a colleague got her master's degree, unmarried, child-free, and I raised the idea of celebrating that, I was met with confused looks. I have no issues contributing to celebrations, but I'd like it to be recognized that this looks different for different people. Max in Joburg. And what a beautiful way to end the talker, because I think that's what you need to raise. If you're going to be asked to contribute for certain celebrations, let it be all types of celebrations. There are people who don't want to get married. There are people who aren't necessarily going to be having kids. But there are other things like, hey, we've seen you work, you got your PhD, you got your master's, we celebrate you, let's contribute to a cake and some drinks or whatever the case may be. Thank you so much for all of your messages, calls and voice notes.
Fashion, art, and music will take center stage. And so can you by playing the Mahindra Fusion Fest quiz on 702.
The Mahindra Fusion Fest 2026 goes down on Saturday, the 7th of March at Sunbet Arena. So it is round the corner. It's going to be a cultural revolution, fusing unique expressions of music, fashion, and art into one-off performances for one night only. Musli is hosting with live performances by Daliwonga, Focalistic, Kurt Darren, Claire Johnston from Mango Groove, Zing Ngumalo, the Tshwane Gospel Choir, and more. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster. Complete a test drive at your nearest Mahindra showroom and stand a chance to win the Mahindra XUV 3XO T's and C's. Apply now. We asked you to send through a message with the word Mahindra and your name and ID number. And the person we are calling is Lisedi Muabsi from Soweto. Lisedi, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
I am good. Do you want to win some money today, babes?
We do.
How much do you want to win?
10.
You want to win 10 Rand.
10,000.
10,000 rand. Okay. Which category are you going for? Art, fashion, or music?
Fashion.
Fashion. Ooh, you're a confident one. Now remember, we want to give you this money. You have 30 seconds to answer 5 questions. Each correct question answered gets you 2,000 rand cash. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Abel, let's start the clock. Name a type of shoe.
Sneakers.
Name a type of shoe.
Sneakers.
True or false, sunglasses or accessories?
True.
What fastens a shirt?
What?
What fastens a shirt?
An eye.
What keeps you warm?
A jacket.
Mahindra Fusion Fest celebrates fashion alongside music and art. True or false?
Yes, it does. It's true.
All right, I'm looking at the judges. Judges. All right. What fastens a shirt is not an iron, but it's a button. And
what fastens is.
What did you hear me say?
I thought you said what fastens is.
Guess what, babes? We don't even need to laugh because you are 8,000 rand richer as of this moment. 8,000 rand for you, Lisedi. Congratulations. Plus, you get yourself 2 tickets to the fest. Lisedi, who are you taking with you?
I'm taking my man.
My man. And what are you doing with the 8,000 rand cash?
We'll see. It's a lot. I have kids, so it'll contribute to the needs.
I love how you didn't say the name of your man because you still need to decide which one you're taking, ne? Listen, congratulations. Stay on the line. Abel is like, Abel, we can do it too. Congratulations. Don't forget, we continue. You can play the quiz tomorrow as well. And you can win 2 tickets to the Mahindra Fusion Fest 2026, powered by 702.
In the last 24 hours, this is what's happened in your world.
The SIU says Shepherd Bushiri lied about his financial status to obtain a permanent residence permit. A chartered accountant signed off on his financial documents for a mere 500 rand. SIU head Leonard Legeto says it's been confirmed that Bushiri's permanent residence permit was approved by a Home Affairs official who was also a member of his church.
Associated drafted and submitted documentation while donations were rerouted into personal account under the guise of tithe or seed transaction.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
Every day I'm hustling. It's our reality as business owners. And it's good to know that there's someone out there who takes care of the business that makes the business. Gotta love My Way Business Insurance. Saving big on premiums with 24/7 emergency services, plus My Business Assist with marketing, legal, and labor advice services.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
Kick off to glory with Hollywood Bets and Aziz Shege. Be in the game. Go full speed ahead with the epic competition. You stand to win a share of 4 million rand in cash and prizes, including an all-new Toyota Corolla Cross. Bet 10 rand or more on any soccer fixture or fixtures online or at your nearest branch. Live life in the fast lane. Bet now for your chance to score. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Meetings Africa is celebrating 20 years in 2026. Over the years, Meetings Africa has connected Africa to the world through a consistent showcase of Africa's diverse offering of services and products in the meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibition sector. Join us at the Sandton Convention Center from the 23rd to 25th February 2026. Register at www.meetingsafrica.co.za. Brought to you by South African Tourism.
South Africa's youth face a real crisis with 8.8 million young people between the ages of 18 and 35 not in education, employment or training. But there's a solution. South African SA Youth is the country's largest free online youth recruitment platform, connecting employers to over 4.5 million young work seekers. Join Shami Surainarayan, Chief Impact Officer at Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator on The Money Show with Stephen Grootes today from 7 p.m. as she shares how SA Youth is breaking barriers, supporting over 3,000 employers and powering entry-level opportunities across all sectors. Only on 702, let's walk the talk.
702.
Tech Feature.
9 minutes to 2 o'clock as we jump into our tech feature. Can AI and tech help South Africa's young people find work? And we know that the fear of AI and tech is that it's getting rid of work. So let's find out from Mike Steyn, founder and operations director at Aspire Solutions. And we take your calls with your questions, 011 883 0702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702. Mike, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Relebogile, and to your listeners, thank you so much for having me.
All right, maybe let's have this conversation. We know that everybody is afraid of unemployment, and it's not something that is not already here. It's not the scary future. It is the reality we are living. Now, how can AI and tech be used to help young people find work?
Yes, that's a very, very interesting question, and you alluded to it in the segment just before this, that there are 8.8 million young people out there trying to find work, trying to align themselves to this new reality. And I don't know if you actually recall the last time we spoke about this, we spoke about AI fatigue. Now, you can imagine if you and I are feeling AI fatigue, what it must be like, how overwhelming it must be for a young school leaver or a young person trying to find work, having this absolute churn of this AI outcome that whenever you speak to somebody who says, well, that might disappear, this job might disappear, this is where you are. So it is a big challenge, but I think the big thing that people, especially young people, must keep in mind is that what we really need to do is we don't have a youth problem, we've got a skills alignment problem. And that basically means that we need to try and make sure that the youth are moving with where this AI beast is going, and that we are equipping them with the skills that they need to know how to apply themselves into the job market with that. And that's the big challenge.
It definitely is. And maybe let's deal with the part of the being intimidated as opposed to using AI as a companion.
Yeah, and it is very real. The thing is that what we need to move to is not, instead of being afraid of this, as I call it, a beast, we need to get to the point where our young people are looking at it and saying, this is a new tool that I can use to make myself attractive to the job market. There are new things opening up for those that are embracing it. Just as a little analogy, there are millions of companies or hundreds of thousands of companies in South Africa that are going to have to implement AI into their companies. Now, that's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen by the old grey-haired people in the company that are not following this. This is going to require a new set of skills, a new set of young people to come in and help these companies get the best out of AI. So for every job that may be taken away or seems like it may be taken away, there's going to be a whole bunch that open up, and that's the big thing. But the challenge is between getting our young people on board that this is something that they can work with, that they can use, and training them up so that at the end of the day they can actually get this thing going in the right direction.
I love what you said, that for every job that sort of AI kicks out, there are new jobs. Can you maybe give an example to make it practical? I think about the fact that prompt engineering is now a job.
Yes. Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, if you look at the number of AI services that are coming out, and the most recent kind of move is all these AI agents. So I don't know if you've heard that buzzword going around. So this AI agent is going to do all the stuff for you. So depending on what company you're in, it's going to be able to process this faster than the person did before. It's going to be able to do this in a more automated fashion. But somebody's still got to go into those companies and take this AI technology and apply this AI technology. So especially from a tech perspective, there are new, just as the one door closes, like you say, there's people that do prompt engineering, which effectively is threatening a software engineer's role, although that's a different debate altogether. There's another thing opening up saying, if I understand these services, I can go and tell the CEO and the board and the senior management, yes, guys, there's a better way to do this. If we apply this like this, we can do it. So understanding the landscape of the AI services that are emerging and staying abreast with it, because it is changing rapidly, is one of the challenges. And then mixing that with sound knowledge in terms of how you can apply it. So that's just one example. The other example is using AI to help you start a business. And that's the other kind of side to South Africa. We know that formal employment is only going to go so far. We want to encourage young people to start businesses. That's how we get the economy going. And I know it's not easy. It's not just you start off and you go. But what I do want to encourage the young people out there is that they now sit with a advisor that can advise them on all sorts of things that they didn't know before about how to start a business, how to run a business, how to monitor a business, what to watch out for. So call it a business advisor, and it's got lots of knowledge. It's there for you to use. So another opportunity to lever AI to get yourself ahead and consider a business and how you want to take it forward.
I love you touching on that part, because in as much as the focus is on the concept of employment, the real issue is people need an income. So we need to look at how that comes in all forms. As you said, employment in itself has its limitations. And now the part about business, I mean, I have to be honest, we've started using it in our businesses. And for some of the things where you're like, we don't have budget for this, we don't have budget for this strategy, or we don't have budget for that, AI can supplement and support. Can you maybe share some thoughts for everybody listening on some of the things they can use AI for to support them?
Yeah, within the context of business, I mean, if you think about it, just simple things like, helping me generate some media for marketing, help me advise me on how best to structure my accounts, so everywhere where you would have to go find a financial advisor and a marketing advisor and a so-and-so advisor, advise me on the best way to manage or monitor my stock if it's a stock type company. That's the way I would see it. It's like you've almost got this virtual panel of people that can advise you on what the right thing is to do and throw ideas at it and soundboard, but keep your voice. Because at the end of the day, as we know, it will regurgitate what it not believes, because it doesn't believe. It knows from its big knowledge base, but at the same time, don't follow it verbatim. In other words, use your voice, learn from it, but literally you're sitting with a panel of advisors.
I have to then ask, is there any benefit in using AI, like let's say it's a chat GPT or whichever, for personal stuff, for it to help with work stuff? Because I started to speak to AI about personal stuff, and I was so surprised at how it would take what I've shared and bring it into the work stuff I was asking. Like, this sounds like you're afraid. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel attacked.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is one of the big questions. And there's two sides to it. I've also noticed that, through my use of various ones, including ChatGPT, it starts to get to know you, and it starts to remember, kind of conversations you've had before, and your ethos and your identity and everything that goes with it. The worry is that stuff's going somewhere else, and someone else is now finding out all the stuff about you. But I think as long as we keep that within a box, I think it's amazing, because it means that you literally now have not only a trusted advisor who's agnostic to you, they understand you, they understand what drives you, your drivers, and right down to the point where you can say, but listen, this is not in line with your beliefs, so are you sure you want to do it like that? I mean, we'll never get to that level, or not for a while, but in a way, it is important to personalize your experience with AI, because then again, it's your voice. And AI is learning about your voice and you taking that forward. So I don't think there's a problem with it, and I actually think it is good as long as you staying on top of it and managing it from your side, if that makes any sense.
Definitely. My whole thing is I'm not worried if the things I tell AI are leaked. We've got bigger fish to fry, like Epstein files. So use the tools. Mike Steyn, thank you so much for your time on 702 Afternoons and our tech feature. In the next hour of the show, Series Edition, episode 4 on gun power, care maintenance and safe storage. And then the car feature, bumper repair and vehicle safety and understanding the connection. It's 2 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. The fire at the Cape Town International Airport has been contained. It's understood that an electrical fault at the international terminal may have been the cause of the blaze. Firefighters, emergency and law enforcement agencies are still on the scene. The blaze has affected communication lines inside the airport and has also left parts of the airport in the dark. EWN reporter Nokukhanya Mdambo landed at the airport amid the chaos and says passengers were not allowed to disembark for almost an hour.
About 3 or 4, as far as I understand, fire trucks had to come in to try and contain that particular blaze. And what that, of course, meant was that nobody who had just landed, or none of the flights that had just landed, were allowed to dock or allow passengers to disembark or come into the airport while that was being dealt with. It has been contained as far as we understand.
Let's stay with airport fires in Nigeria. An investigation is underway to determine the cause of a blaze which broke out at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport yesterday. 6 people were injured in that blaze, which was caused by a temporary suspension of flights as well. The fire, which affected control tower operations, was brought under control and traffic resumed shortly afterwards. The flames damaged the airport's departures hall, which was being renovated as part of a large-scale project costing an estimated $530 million. Back here at home, police have been deployed to monitor the tense situation in Coronationville after residents stopped a water tanker from attempting to deliver water to that area. Frustrated residents from Coronationville and Westbury have blocked major roads today near the Rahima Musa Hospital. They say for years they've had to endure inconsistent water supply. The protest comes a day after Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi delivered his State of the Province address. During the address, he announced that 760 million rand would be allocated towards a permanent solution to the province's water challenges. Residents say they don't believe anything that the Premier says.
I don't believe him at all, because they are all just making believe that they are telling us the truth. All of government, I don't believe in them, because they all with promises.
I don't think they're promising anything right now. They're busy lying to us. For 6 years I've seen it, they're busy lying to us. So there's no promise guaranteed in that.
The Department of Agriculture says it's concerned that foot and mouth disease continues to spread among the cattle population, with the spillover now becoming evident in the Free State. Appearing before Parliament's Portfolio Committee today, officials said while KZN remains the epicenter of the disease, hundreds of cases are being reported in other provinces too. 1 million vaccine doses arrived from Argentina on Saturday, and both KZN and the Free State will receive 200,000 doses each to contain the spread. Lindsay Dentlinger has more.
Director General Muketsa Ramasodi says outbreaks of foot and mouth disease are still being reported for a number of reasons, including the illegal movement of infected animals, false health declarations and auctions. The Western Cape is the latest province to report an outbreak, but there are also increasing cases in the Eastern Cape.
There is many dairy animals in that area, so we have to protect the dairies from getting the disease.
The department expects another consignment of 1.5 million vaccines to arrive in the country this week.
We haven't really moved focus from KwaZulu-Natal, but we are including the Free State in terms of trying to arrest the disease in these 2 provinces.
Ramasodi says the provinces have all started to collect their allocation of the first batch of imported vaccines, with Limpopo and Mpumalanga each receiving 100,000 doses, as buffalo herds also threaten the continued spread of the disease. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
And President Cyril Ramaphosa has assured the nation the investigation into the circumstances that led to 17 men being lured to Russia is continuing. 4 of the men returned from Russia last week following government's intervention. They left South Africa thinking they would be employed in high-paying jobs, only to find out they would be put in the front lines of the Russia-Ukraine war. Ramaphosa has welcomed those that have since returned and says efforts to assist the remaining ones are continuing. Presidential spokesperson Vincent Magwenya says Ramaphosa has also thanked the Russian president for his cooperation in the rescue mission.
President Ramaphosa has expressed his heartfelt gratitude to President Vladimir Putin, who responded positively to his call to support the process of returning the men home. President Putin had pledged his support during a telephone call with President Ramaphosa that was held earlier this month.
Gold is trading at $5,172.43 an ounce. The rand is at 15.98 to the dollar, 21.57 to the pound, 18.83 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $71.49 a barrel.
Lombardy Estate, Pretoria expects some delays on Graham Linwood Road. That's between Boschkop Road and Solomon Mahlangu. Look out for those faulty traffic lights in Midrand at Old Pretoria Road and Olifantsfontein Road.
It's a cloudy afternoon in Gauteng today with isolated showers and thundershowers expected. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 23 and 24 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, the fire at the Cape Town International Airport has been contained, and it's understood that an electrical fault at the international terminal may have caused the blaze.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Relebogile Mabotja.
Live, streaming countrywide
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Seven minutes after 2 o'clock, the second and final hour of 7:02 afternoons with me, Relebogile Mabotja. We're going to be jumping into episode 4 of our series, and I'm so sad it's coming to an end, on gun power, gun safety and control. We're talking care, maintenance and safe storage with Themba Kubeka, who is South African security operator and firearms safety advocate. And then we wrap up with our car feature, talking bumper repair and vehicle safety and understanding the connection. Ravi Chetty and Yuan Hanekom will join us, Vice Chair, National Director, respectively, of South African Motor Body Repairers Association. So get in touch with us, 011 8830702, SMS us 31702, tweet at Relebogile M, at Radio 702, using the hashtag 702 afternoons in the WhatsApp line 072 702 and 702. And thank you so much to the unsigned message that says, sorry to be out of topic, Relebogile. I want to compliment and congratulate you for your stunning angelic voice. I saw and heard you singing on SABC3's or S3's Espresso show this morning. What a beautiful lady with such a beautiful voice. You're so talented. Thank you so much. And yes, if you did send through your details to contact@702.co.za, you might get an opportunity to join us at Prime Media's building for my live album launch, where you will hear me performing live. And of course, I'm so grateful to the station for supporting all parts of my creativity. I cannot wait to meet you guys in person that are coming through to enjoy and be a part of this journey with me. So thank you to the person who sent that message.
702
Series Edition.
Series Edition time on gun power, guns, safety and control. And you can catch up on primemediaplus.com on episodes 1 to 3, as you can really get some details from the laws to self-defense to getting a firearm license and the like. And we're joined again for episode 4, car maintenance and safe storage, with joined by Themba Kubeka, who is South African security operator and firearms safety advocate. Your calls on 011 883 0702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 and 702. Themba, welcome back. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. And yourself?
I am doing well, and I so thought I will see you in person so we can come up with a caption of the photo of me holding your block in studio.
Yeah, unfortunately, things had to happen.
Okay, can I add the caption that says when your guest doesn't arrive on time, and then that's the caption with me holding the gun?
Yeah, let's do that.
So let's jump into it. Care, maintenance, and safe storage. And I think this is such an important part of the conversation, especially when you look at the fact that so many people, children, have lost their lives just by a firearm not being stored correctly.
Correct. So like I said, even when an so-called accidental, I prefer the word negligent shooting happens. The one thing that the court is interested in is who owns the firearm, where was the firearm, because the law prescribes that there's two places where you can store your firearm: in a prescribed safe or on you in a holster. On your purse attached to you. So there's no other place really. There's no third place. There's no neutral place. It cannot be under the pillow. It cannot be on top of the fridge, in a suitcase, in a handbag. No, only those two places.
When you are in transit, so let's say you are on the road, is your firearm meant to still be in a holster? And are there physical limitations if, let's say, your holster is around your waist versus by your legs?
Well, I wouldn't say there's physical limitations. It takes a lot of training to be proficient in reacting from how you carry as a person, because we carry in different positions. There's all sorts of ways. Like, remember, I showed you how I carry. I carry appendix. Some people carry strong side. Some people carry, we call it Mexican carry, where they carry on the small of the back. Some people would have an additional, we call an ankle gun, where it would be on the leg. And in vehicles in transit, there's people who would either put it in between their legs, which is not advisable. People putting it on the door panel. Some people have attached some magnetic stuff that is sold, but a lot of these things work in the American scenario because the laws there are different. But here, the best place to keep it is on your person. So if you have a more generous belly, you obviously might have issues carrying in front, in appendix. So maybe practice carrying a strong side.
And when then it comes to let's say flying, what are some of the rules? You obviously have to declare, I'm assuming, prior. But what are the rules around that in terms of if you are flying with a firearm and you are permitted to do so, these are the restrictions?
All right. Restriction number one, not all airlines allow this. They don't take firearms. The ones that do, you don't keep it on you. So you'd have a case for the firearm and you have a case for your magazine and ammunition. So they'll keep it separate. They'll store it in cargo somehow. You declare it where you board your flight, and then you'll pick it up where you're going at the destination. So it's quite simple there, because you don't really get to keep your firearm on you under any circumstances.
And do they expect you to show them and prove that you've taken out all ammunition, you've packed it correctly? Like, is there a process where you have to open and show a specific qualified person that you've packed it properly?
Yes, you cannot hand, even if a police officer stops me on the street, I will ask him, especially if it's a cordial stop and not because they're stopping me because I'm running from a scene or anything. If it's a cordial stop, and I'll declare that I'm carrying a firearm. May I make it safe before I hand it over to them so they can check my license against the serial number. Sometimes they would like to verify and call it in. So even at work, if I'm handing over my firearm, my company-issued firearm, the person handing it to me will keep the slide back so I can see that it's safe and the magazine is out. And I'll do the same when I hand it to them.
Okay, and then let's now talk about the rules of storage at one's home. I recall a friend of mine, and it's something that I never ever thought about, and I'd love to know your thoughts on this, Temba, who said that when it comes to her children visiting friends, even if it's a play date, she always asks, is there a firearm in the house, number one? Number two, where's it stored? Because she's heard so many stories about a child visiting and then jiggy something happens. And I thought to myself, I never even considered that you must ask. And then to say, are there older siblings in the house? Because kids, if they know there's a firearm, they want to show off with one another. And then, so let's talk about the rules in a household when it comes to if you do own a firearm, this is the rule. It can't just be in some random locker, nje, like you said, top of the cupboard.
Yes. So firstly, let's commend your friend for proactive parenting. That's a very, very good thing. I myself also haven't thought about that, but firstly, it's because I do not allow sleepovers, whether at my place or my kids or other places. I don't.
Times have changed.
For several reasons. I just don't. So that's where the law comes in to say that, this is why the law says that you have to put it in a safe. There's, like I've already said when we began, that there's no other place. There's no neutral spot to say, well, I'm going to need it now, so let me put it in the cupboard, or no one's going to look on top of the fridge, or the kids can't reach the room divider at the top. So that one we don't even have to discuss for long. It is as if anything happens and you are found to have stored it in a negligent way, you'll be charged. We'll have a section, I think it's a section 105 charge, where you'll be declared unfit to own and possess a firearm.
In terms of the accidents you've heard of, and maybe we can touch on the fact that does your risk of dying or being injured by a firearm increase significantly by you having one?
No, that's a complete lie. There's no credible stats that suggest such. I've heard people that's I think on our first episode. That's what I said, that there's a lot of lies being peddled. There is no credible statistics that says no. The more people have firearms, the more people will die. The world has been violent from the times of Genesis. And there was no gun involved when Cain killed Abel. So people will always find a way to be violent. So it's not the firearm that is an issue. It's the society that has issues that lead people to being a problem unto themselves and others.
Yeah, the problem is the person, not the gun.
Yes, correct.
Okay. If we go back to, and I see some messages coming through on 011 883 702 in the WhatsApp line 072 702 and 702. But if we go back to the kind of safe a person has to have in the house, what are some of the limitations, or, do they specify that it needs to be bolted at a certain height? The safe has to be not a key, but what are those specific rules, so that if a person is trying to get a firearm and a firearm license, they already know you must have the money for that other thing?
Yeah. So people tend to make a mistake of saying you need an SAPS approved safe. No, it's an SAPS compliant safe that you need. So there's minimum requirements, like the latch has to be a 7-lever latch. I'm trying to remember. I forgot exactly how thick the safe has to be. But when you go to a shop, the shops know when if you're going to bolt it to your wall and floor, it has to be your 10 millimeter roll bolts. You can't use any other different bolts. So you have to use a specific safe with specific dimensions. You have to use the 10 millimeter roll bolts, nothing else. So that the law is very clear on that. There's people who use safe rooms. So safe rooms will also, be compliant.
Can you share what a safe room is?
So it's a storage room which has those heavy safe doors. And it has a reinforced roof with concrete and reinforcement, and on all sides of the walls are not your typical brick. So there's a certain minimum thickness that you'll have to adhere to. I just don't have the numbers off my head right now.
Yes.
Yeah, but as calls come in, and I'm sure we'll find a way to give out information. They can also go on to the Facebook page for South African Gun Owners Association, and they can ask, or EDC groups on social media. They'll find answers there.
All right, let's go to some of the questions that are coming through on Audible 188307002 in the WhatsApp line 0727021702. So this one comes from Robert in Houghton Estate, who says, Relebogile and Themba, my husband's late father had 2 pistols. He passed away 8 years ago and his estate has still not been wound up. We committed them to a licensed storage facility as neither of us have a license. Would you recommend that we decommission them? I believe there is a delay with this, or just get our own gun licenses. That's an interesting scenario.
Yeah, they've waited too long, and it would also depend on, there were pistols, but what type are they? Are they modern? Because, someone can say, no, I've got a pistol for you, and then they show you something that was from years ago that is no longer relevant in today's life because it's probably heavy, it's too big. I was showing you the other time that pistols have become quite small and they still do the same job as the older ones. And a lot of the older ones used to have a lot of issues with feeding certain ammunition. So I would prefer that they decommission those and get themselves new age modernized pistols.
And if you are to, in inverted commas, inherit a firearm, how simple is it to get it transferred, get the firearm license for yourself? Is it a longer procedure as opposed to you just starting from scratch?
You see, the issue now is on their part, on the legals of winding up of the estate. So that's something that we cannot tell. So if they're saying it's 8 years, that's a long time to wait. Whereas it takes you about 3 months to get a license if you've got your competency already, or an additional 3 months for the competency first. So it doesn't take long if everything is stored at home, and the one who runs the estate can just write an affidavit to say they're selling the firearm to you, it belongs to this person, here's a copy of the deceased license, and that's it.
I hear you completely. Thank you so much for that question, Robert. Good day, Relebogile. Can you please ask what happens when you go to the bank or go to restaurants that refuse access at their premises when you carry a firearm?
Well, one, I don't go to institutions that don't allow me and my safety, because who's responsible for me when I'm inside? If the place gets robbed or there's a shooting, how do I defend myself? Because I'm sure their unarmed security will be the first people to run when that happens. Also, I don't show. Remember, I told you the only places I don't take my firearms is your government buildings, like your court, your home affairs offices, SARS, because they are very strict about letting you in there. So I do not take the firearm with me because there's no other way. There's certain places where you would have safes provided at the entrance. So you'd be given a safe and a key, and you go in, do your business, and come out. So it's not up to me to say what you do. I just don't go where I'm not allowed.
Yes, and I guess if you also wouldn't necessarily want a place that allows anybody to carry anything, knowing how many things happen in public?
I would want a place that allows licensed firearm owners to carry their firearms. It's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay around life because I know they're law-abiding. Statistics will tell you that generally firearm owners are law-abiding citizens.
I'm glad you said generally because, Valentine's Day is a tricky day when it comes to firearms.
It is, and we did have that conversation about people of a certain province of our country. So we spoke about that. But generally, in the majority of licensed firearms are probably good. That's how you get your competency and license. First of all, there's no criminal record. The background checks are done by the police. So the number of licenses out here tells you the number of law-abiding citizens as well.
All right. Another question is coming through on the voice note 0727021702. Okay, we are loading that shortly. Another person says the safe needs to be at least 2 millimeters thick and have an integral locking system. And is there a reason the CFR are as delayed as they currently are?
Yeah, he's correct about the dimensions on the safe. The reason why CFR is delayed is simply because of complacency and laziness on the part of the SAPS in that office. And people not, the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing. So there's a backlog caused exactly by those reasons I've just outlined. That is why.
Okay, another one says, Relebogile, I was late to get this question in last week. Say I'm witnessing a carjacking, as dangerous as it can be. Can one engage an armed assailant to prevent the crime? As a legally armed, tactically trained citizen, I almost feel compelled to engage. That is from Dan. And I remember you saying last week, try not to get involved because you don't know what the real situation might be.
Yes, but if you feel compelled and you have the tactical advantage, I would say engage if you really think there's a chance. But remember that you still have to answer for that. So you can take them if you can see. I mean, sometimes you can see a hijacking.
Yes.
It's just that sometimes you might not know. It could be an official operation that is meant to look like that. I've been part of operations where for instance, one of the operations we did, we made it look like we are kidnapping someone because it was a 252A operation where someone had approached someone to kidnap somebody, and we took it as the people were going to carry out the kidnapping. So if someone would have seen us, we would have gotten shot.
I got you, definitely. Hi, Relebogile, my partner does not store their firearm in a safe at home. Should I report them to authorities?
I don't think reporting them to the authorities helps. I think what would help you is talking to your partner and allowing them to join organizations like ourselves. Because that it doesn't sound great. I mean, he owns a firearm, so he can protect you as well. Unless you are saying to us that he's using it against you, that's a different case. But if he's not storing it correctly, then get him re-educated.
Okay, another one says, Relebogile, I stopped going to church after discovering that there are undercover security guards armed. It made me feel so uncomfortable. Interesting. I mean, churches are also vulnerable. And another question, can I still apply for a gun license 2 years after expiry?
Let's answer the last one. Yes, you can still apply. So it's a reapplication.
Yes.
You can go and apply for your license. You've got proof of the old one. Just don't carry it because it's expired. Apply for it as a new firearm. And you can... what was the first one about carrying it, about undercover security in church?
Yes.
That's a good church that cares about you. So that's a good church. Please go to church. You should feel unsafe where any thug can come in and we've seen these on the news. You can Google it. Mosques and churches have been targeted.
Definitely. Just final thoughts. We've had this journey on gun power, safety. And you being an advocate, can you share with us in closing your final thoughts of this whole series?
No, it's a beautiful and empowering, also informative series. I just wish we had more time where we can take more calls. Like if we had a whole hour at least minimum, where we can, delve into these things and get, that's why you're having people saying, no, I couldn't do this last week, because we have very little time, literally 20 minutes. That's not enough. Right now we're going through a time where government is trying to tighten up again, but we don't mind laws being a bit tight. They're just trying to do things the wrong way, and they're tightening the wrong screws. So we can actually, if they come to us, consult us, we can actually show them what should be done, how it should be done, and how it can benefit the country, the government coffers, and the community at large.
Look, the great thing, Themba, is you're officially a friend of the show. Once you're with us for 4 weeks straight, it means we're going to be calling you up to continue these kinds of conversations. The questions are so many. We didn't even get to all of them, but we so appreciate the time that you have given every single week consistently in our series. And as Themba has already said, is you can go and even go to the social media pages for South African Gun Owners Association. And if there's any other outstanding questions, 702 afternoons at 702.co.za. It's just after 2:30, time for your latest Eyewitness News headlines. Good afternoon.
Thanks, Relebogile. Good afternoon. International flights leaving the Cape Town airport have been temporarily suspended after a fire which broke out on the premises earlier today. Airports Company South Africa says incoming international flights are being diverted to alternative airports. AXA also adds that flights that have already landed are continuing to be processed. Police remain on high alert in Coronationville following water-related protest action today. Disgruntled community members joined by residents from Westbury took to the streets to voice their frustrations. They blocked roads with rocks and burning tyres, telling EWN they have suffered an inconsistent water supply for years now. And President Cyril Ramaphosa has reiterated that the investigation into the circumstances which led to 17 men being lured to Russia is continuing. 4 of the men returned from Russia last week following government's intervention. They left South Africa thinking they would be employed in high-paying jobs, only to find out they would be put on the front lines of the Russia-Ukraine war. Well, those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 3 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Lombardy Estate, Pretoria, you can expect heavy delays on Graham Linwood Road. This is between Boschkop Road and Solomon Mahlangu. The rest of 702 land looking good. No serious accidents or major delays on our highways. Otherwise, look out for those faulty traffic lights in Midrand at Olifantsfontein Road and Old Pretoria Road. Traffic lights also still not working in Lone Hill at Lone Hill Boulevard and Main Road. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. Aubrey Masango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
Hey, Bafwet, I'm told one of the people who has been receiving bribes as a result of this case that the SIU has now reported on built a whole road leading to their house. What are we saying, Kokasi, wherever we live, when somebody is building a road leading to their gate? What are we saying? It's easy and even understandable to blame the foreign national. I understand that. But the problem is not really the foreign national. The problem is the one who's selling us out. Yeah, the one we drink with at the Chisanyam.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702.
Growing a business is a 24/7 job. In fact, 55% of small business owners say they can never switch off. Usually it's personal moments like missed date nights and long overdue holidays that pay the price. Zero wants to help you claim one back with an emotional tax return. To enter, share a moment you missed while growing your business on Instagram stories and tag at Zero, that is spelled with an X. Competition ends 22 March. T's and C's apply.
Right, gang. Are we all in? Liam? Here. Ethan? Here. Andrew? Here. Luca? Yeah.
Amelia?
Yeah.
Violet?
Yeah, Mom.
Introducing the Chungun CS75 Pro, a powerful turbocharged engine, modern safety features, and room with 7 seats for everyone.
Hey, that's not everyone. You forgot Choppy, Mom.
Oh, Choppy! The all-new CS75 Pro from $4,999 per month. T's and C's apply.
Chang'an, driven to evolve. Meetings Africa is celebrating 20 years in 2026. Over the years, Meetings Africa has connected Africa to the world through a consistent showcase of Africa's diverse offering of services and products in the meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibition sector. Join us at the Sandton Convention Center from the 23rd to 25th February 2026. Register at www.meetingsafrica.co.za. Brought to you by South African Tourism.
Pedal Power Association proudly supports the Cape Town Cycle Tour, and it's more than just a ride, as every entry helps change a life. Proceeds from the race are donated to communities in need, opening doors to education, work and independence. And for every 20 cyclists who enter from Jozi, 1 bicycle is donated to a community in need. So when you pedal, you're not just riding for yourself, you're helping communities move forward. Go to CapetownCycletour.com, proudly supported by Prime Media Cares.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
The start of a case brought by a lawyer called Douglas Shaw. He's arguing that South African banks have been repossessing homes when people can't pay their debts and then selling the house only for the amount of debt that is owed.
Most banks, they don't want to properly engage with consumers. And a lot of our courts and judges have now said, you can't just see it as a box-ticking exercise. You have to meaningfully engage.
Gerard van der Merwe, consumer law attorney.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Curtis is brought to you by ABSA Corporate and Investment Banking, a proud sponsor of the LMA ICMA Loan and Capital Markets Africa Summit 2026. Advancing Africa's capital markets to drive sustainable growth across the continent. ABSA is a registered FSP. T's and C's apply.
coming up
on 702 Drive with John Perlman.
702 Drivers coming up from 3 to 6 p.m. with John Perlman. John, how are you doing?
Doing well, thanks. And you, good afternoon to all the listeners.
I am doing well, John, and I want to find out from you. We're talking about workplace contributions, and a lady was sharing the story that, you know, there's companies where people are expected to contribute. You could be an intern and the CEO, and it's like the contribution is 500 Rand. It's birthdays, it's funerals. There's even a place where if you're the new guy, you have to buy everybody like Nando's. And they were like, this is getting out of hand. And we've had listeners who say, look, if it's a funeral, it should be limited to immediate family. And then others said, if it's a baby shower, why are we contributing to a second baby shower and there's still no bridal shower? What are your thoughts on workplace contributions? Because I didn't even know there's companies that make it compulsory and dictate the amount where they'll say you need to contribute to the year-end function or the boss barad.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think that could go to court.
Literally.
I think that sounds to me like a requirement that you get way more involved in the lives of your colleagues than the requirements of actually, you know, reasonable collegiality would require. So that seems to me to be a little bit absurd. I mean, I've always been comfortable at places where I work where they say, you know, someone's had a bereavement. If you'd like to make a contribution, make a contribution. Or people are getting married and we're all clubbing together because they need a fridge or a farm or whatever it is that needs buying. I'm very, very happy to do that. But to presume that everybody has equivalent income, but secondly and crucially, equivalent relationships with the person who is the beneficiary is ludicrous. I mean, you and I know each other pretty well. Happy to chip in if there's a big occasion, but there are people in this building who I'm sure I would like if I'd met them, but I've actually never met them.
Yes, and I mean, I just think don't make it compulsory and don't make it prescriptive. You can say, if you'd like to contribute, this is how you can, and leave it there.
Labor lawyers, call into my show. No, seriously, I'd be really interested. I mean, I don't see how that can fly.
And let me also add, in my mind, if something becomes compulsory, it should have been in my contract to begin with, so that I could have prepared for that. That's what I would imagine should be the case.
probably is in the contract. They're often quite long, and the more important the stuff, have you noticed the text, the font gets
smaller and smaller. They call it fine print for a reason,
yeah.
but the nice thing is, if you aren't going to read those 16 pages, now your AI can summarize it and flag it for you, which is a lot better than you not reading it. John, what's coming up on your show today?
Coming up on the show, so both investigations into the police, corruption, criminality, political interference underway. Parliament is hearing from Brown Mokhotsi, political fixer. The Madlanga Commission, day 5 now. I think it is the last one, though, for suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner General Shadrach Sibia. We'll cover both of those stories. You know, the water crisis, Relebogile is made up of many different elements. We've heard about aging infrastructure. Very interesting article a while back. I'll give a full reference to it on the show. That we have these things called water boards, and they're absolutely critical because they oversee, for example, what goes on in the city of Johannesburg and big population conglomerations of people. These water boards have virtually no engineers on the board. And it's a massive problem because, I'm not saying every single person there should be an engineer because you want social scientists and lawyers.
And independence,
and financiers, but they have virtually no engineers. We'll talk to the South African Institute of Civil Engineering about why that is the case, because they're appointed, I think, by the president. And secondly, what are the implications of this not being done? Finally, 11 of the men trafficked to Russia and abducted once they got there and taken to the front line of the war against Ukraine. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll explore that story in detail after 5 o'clock.
All right, that is 702 Drive with John Perlman. And yes, Labour lawyers, he's been serious about this whole thing of what they have to say. 011-883-0702, the WhatsApp line 072-702 and 702. That is 702 Drive with John Perlman, coming up from 3 to 6 p.m.
Part of the 702 family.
Hello, my name is Atta Sibeta, and I'm from 702 Land, staying in Centurion. And what 702 actually brings for me is what other radio stations don't give me. A lot of knowledge, great information, and a lot of happy moments. Thank you very much. Enjoy listening to 702 Land.
Welcome to our 702 family. Let's walk the talk.
In business, the right connections change everything. It's the stability you need for that once-in-a-lifetime virtual pitch, the lightning-fast speeds that keep you ahead of deadlines, and the consistent, high-quality signal your teams rely on every day. Because when your connectivity works seamlessly, so does your business. Power your workday with fast, reliable fiber from OpenServe, built to keep your operations running at full speed. Visit openserve.co.za today to learn more. T's and C's apply.
Gear up for glorious Grand Slam success with Hollywood Bets. Take your tennis passion to new heights and feel every stroke, rally and match point as the drama unfolds at the Australian Open, Roland Garros, Wimbledon and US Open. The biggest stages in tennis have been set as the world's best go head-to-head for ultimate bragging rights. Bet now and make every moment count. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp HELP to 076 675 0710.
Morning, sir.
Hey, got up the shop.
Topping up.
Yeah. Hey, remember when our coffee didn't taste this good?
And when the Wi-Fi dropped 3 times a day?
Yo, my
good
man.
times.
Now we've leveled up. High-speed Wi-Fi, private spaces, on-site support. This place runs like a machine.
Yo, flippin' seamless.
Yeah, that's WeWork, eh?
And my team's like loving it, eh? Productivity's up. No one's fighting over the fridge.
Yeah, I know. It's the dream.
WeWork, Africa's largest co-working spaces. WeWork.co.za. Made for work, built for business.
When the Mahindra Fusion Fest 2026, powered by 702, brings you Z, Focalistic, Dali Wonga, Zoe Mudija, and more. Fashion, art, and music will take center stage. And so can you by playing the daily Mahindra Fusion Fest quiz on 702 for up to 10,000 Rand and 2 tickets to the fest. WhatsApp the keyword Mahindra to 072-702-1702 with your name and ID number. Every day this week from 1 p.m., 702 afternoons with Relebogile Mabotja could call you back. The Mahindra Fusion Fest 2026, powered by 702. TCs and more on primemediaplus.com.
702.
The car feature.
16 minutes to 2 o'clock. It is car feature time on 702 afternoons. And in our car feature for today, we're talking about bumper repair and vehicle safety and understanding the connection. We want to hear from all of you. 011 883 702 in the WhatsApp line, 072 702 1702. In the building, we are joined by SAMBRA, which is the South African Motor Body Repairers Association. We have the Vice Chair, Ravi Chetty, and we have Juan Hanekom, who is National Director, also friend of the show, joining us in studio. Gents, how are you doing? Welcome.
Oh, welcome. Thank you for having us.
All right.
Thank you for having us over.
Thank you so much. I am so curious, and maybe you can start the connection. I'll start with you, Juan. Where does the connection come between bumper repair and vehicle safety? And maybe let's be clear so we are all aligned. When we refer to the bumper, which part of the car is it?
So, Relebogile, I think it's maybe better if Ravi takes that question. Yeah, he is one of our members and he is quite the, technical expert. And this is why he's here with us today.
I love that. So you're not just a vice chair.
I wouldn't say the technical expert either.
So share with us what a bumper is.
Okay, as in motor cars, the bumper, front, rear, the front end and the rear end. These are the most common parts that goes through an accident.
Yes.
It also, it does not make the car look pretty at the same time. It's there for a reason.
Yes.
It has a lot of safety features on the car that help protect the occupants and the driver. What are the occupants and the driver? What features are there? The ADAS system, the sensors, you got the airbag sensors. All these things go and hang behind the bumpers. These help protect the occupants. If the bumper get damaged, those sensors most probably get also damaged in it, or the clips break off and they hang loose. So it does not become just a bumper smash anymore.
Yes. And I'm glad you explaining it that way because I think I've described bumpers as like the lower lip or the front lip and things like that without us being fully aware of what its purpose is and what can be covered. I'm just wondering, Juan, what are some of the other things about the bumper that we need to be aware of?
So maybe if we're expanding that, we need to understand that, and I say this, I think every time I come into the station, that cars today are not like they used to be 20, 30, 40 years ago, right?
Which is sometimes a good thing, sometimes not so good.
100%, and exactly what Ravi was saying now. Your car 20, 30 years ago was literally just either a steel beam or a plastic piece there that had very little to do with the safety of the vehicle. You were in a collision. Once that collision took place, the entire force of that accident was transferred onto you as the driver. Nowadays, vehicles have crumple zones, right? And when
crumple zones?
Crumple zones. Right?
What is that?
So when you actually are in a collision or a frontal collision, rear collision, the vehicle is designed to brake in a certain way. So if you had to take like a Coke can and you had to squash it, these things are designed to squash in a specific way that it takes the force off of you and places it into the vehicle, which obviously makes the vehicle more damaged.
But it protects you.
That's the key difference, yeah. So
you just made me think about something. Sorry, I think about those old Mercs. I wouldn't know the name right now, but the ones that are so solid that they could bump into a truck and the truck would be damaged. So does that mean that hardness, the car wasn't necessarily built to absorb the force? It would be transferred onto you.
100% correct.
I got you.
So you're shifting now the point of damage from the person onto the vehicle. And this is exactly what Ravi was talking about now. Now we take it further into to a modern vehicle. One, the vehicle is able to crumple, but in that bumper, it's not only there now as a feature piece or something that's protecting the vehicle, but it's protecting you in other ways now with advanced features like the sensors that Ravi was talking about. You've got your lane keeping assist and all these other funny things there. You've got park distance control, sometimes cameras, sometimes radar systems. All of these fit into this piece of plastic. And now you have a collision, and what happens?
So let me ask a question. When it comes to the force being absorbed where it's absorbed, what does that mean for us lay folks in terms of what to look out for? I mean, I saw now there's a trend which says, search the crash test of the vehicle you're driving, and they would look and see what happened. Knowing what now you are sharing, what should we be looking out for? Because maybe what we are seeing is it looks like the car's a complete mess, but the person's actually a lot more protected. And thank you to the person saying, the Merc you are talking about is the Merc 123 in the models before that. Is that the one?
Yes.
The hard ones. Okay, thank you. So the concrete ones. But what should we be looking out for, particularly in context to the conversation we are having?
So, Ravi, would you like to take this?
Okay, if you're looking at what I'm trying to understand is you are trying to say what we're looking at on the damages.
Yes, so when we look at a crash test for a vehicle, based on what you've shared now, that maybe you're seeing the damage on the car, but not realizing that more damage on the car is actually better for the person. And maybe just for us to be aware, what should be happening with the crash dummy? Is it called a crash dummy? Is it still? I'm not sure. Yeah. Maybe I'm not being politically correct. Apology to the crash dummy.
It's still a crash test dummy. You are safe.
Okay, the telltale signs on that will be your bumper will be hanging. If you know the bumper is held by bumper slides, all plastic stuff, bumper clips. These, in most probably, will be broken off. They will be misaligned. That will be one of the biggest telltale signs. The bumper will be misaligned in comparison to the gaps on the bonnet, on the fenders. All will be completely off. This alone will tell you, listen, that car has been to a front smash. Let's work on the front end of the car. Next step is you need to inspect it, what's behind it, and see what the damages are. That bumper, the way it's made in the new cars are bumps in up to 10 Ks, it will just pop out. And in most cases, there will be no damages. And once you go over 10 Ks per hour, that's when the damage is there. You get behind the bumper, there's a bumper foam. Jean spoke about the crumple zones. That helps absorb the damages on the car as well. That bumper foam get damaged. It needs to be renewed, but you can't see it without the bumper being taken off. And behind the bumper foam, there is something called a bumper reinforce. That is the steel bar that goes across it. That is part of the crumple zone that Jean spoke about. That crumple zone helps the chassis legs to move down and the engine not to end up inside the car, which protects the occupants.
But I think to that point, and I just maybe want to add there, to your question though, when you're looking at those NCAPE and those crash reports, if the engine is sitting there next to the driver, there's probably a problem. The crumple zone helps to make sure that the engine doesn't sit up there in the cab with you.
I got you. Sorry, you worded it so perfectly. I get exactly what you're saying. And again, we've touched on this before, that maybe as consumers, we look at style and aesthetics before we truly get into the details of the safety features and interrogate. And yes, there's certain brands that they'll be, for this many years, it's been the safest brand in the world. I want to give an equal opportunity for discrimination and praise, because, of course, the conversations I've seen happening on social media where they're speaking about specific crash tests, specific vehicles that are very popular on the road. Are there any vehicles that you would say, or brands, that are really getting it right, and brands that you think maybe could be doing better? And if that is the case, what does that mean for the manufacturing? Or does the law need to change? Because I'm sure there are certain vehicles on the road that you're like, if people knew.
Well, I think this is a difficult one to take a look at. Remember, you've got everything's on a spectrum, and everything's only as good as by the metric you use to measure it.
Mm.
So if you compare a car today to a car 20 years ago, there's going to be a completely different standard that was at play in both situations.
Mm.
But like we said earlier, a car 20, 30 years ago didn't have a crumple zone, and cars today do. And then we have to also understand there's different cars at different price points. So it's difficult to say who's getting it 100% right. There are some people, some brands that are doing some exceptional work.
Yes.
And there's others that are really trying to be there for the consumer from a price point perspective, putting things that are in place that make the vehicle viable on the road. But you also have to understand, if you're buying a vehicle right at the bottom end of the financial spectrum, you're going to be making sacrifices. There's a trade-off between affording a vehicle and being able to and having all the safety features that you'd expect on something that's on the top of the line.
Do you think that a lot of focus is placed on things like airbags and things like that without the focus being on the connection between the bumper and safety features?
Well, I suppose if you take a look at the current market environment, right? If you take a look at the consumer base that you had a couple of years back, it was very loyal. You had typically what your person would call upgraders. So if you were driving the latest, call it the Ford or a Toyota or whatever brand it might be, you essentially every couple of years buy the brand new version of the same thing, right? You weren't looking really at the features because you had trust in the brand. Nowadays, your consumer mix is something completely slightly different. You don't have the same degree of brand loyalty. The user or the consumer is a lot more pragmatic. They're looking for features. And those features aren't always the safety features. They're looking for the bright and shinies, the
CarPlay,
the bigger 52-inch.
Oh my gosh! Listen, those laptop screens in the car, 52-inch LED screen in the car.
It belongs in your lounge, not your car. But this is the way things are going, and this is the type of things. I climbed into another car the other. I'm not going to mention the brand name now. But they'd had a button on the steering wheel that you could push, and the screen actually turned from a portrait to landscape. And I'm like, this is amazing, but why?
Because I always wonder, does it not encourage you to want to watch content in your car while you're driving?
Well, it's supposedly you're not able to do it, but come on,
Yes.
software is software.
So let me then ask on your side, Ravi, what are the biggest pointers you want to leave all of the listeners with?
If you do meet an accident or a bumper bash, that's what we are talking about, is inspect your car properly. Make sure everything is fine. If you are not sure, take it to a body repairer. He most probably will charge you an hour's labor to inspect it for you. And if there's damages, notify your insurance company and claim via your insurance company. Yes, because if you think you're going to pay cash for it, but if one of those sensors are damaged, it's not a simple thing of just taking some paint and putting over the bumper. You got to do diagnostics on the car, recalibration, all these things. And the only way you can get this done is you got to take the car to, for instance, if the guy is approved to repair that car's specific model, you got to take that car to that specific repairer. For instance, let's talk about a Mercedes. Take it to a Mercedes-Benz approved repairer, not to a non-approved. The Mercedes-Benz approved repairer has the specific training on that car.
Oh, John, and what would you like to leave listeners with just as a final parting shot in this conversation?
Yes, I just maybe want to extend on what Ravi was saying now. Not only do those types of repairers have the skills necessary, but they've got the equipment as well. Remember, if you have a bumper with the sensors in it, and your one sensor is looking left and the other sensor is looking right and instead of forward like it's supposed to, that thing's not going to be picking up the lanes on the road. It's not going to be picking up the car in front of you, and you're going to have a mess coming out of it. So take it to the people that are equipped to repair it, or have somebody look at it afterwards. Okay.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much, gents. You can always search up the South African Motor Body Repairers Association, SAMBRA. They're always chatting safety and obviously uniting the industry for everybody to be getting together. And that is our car feature for today.
Dis-Chem is focusing on beauty with spectacular savings on skincare that loves your skin as much as you do. Glow, hydrate, and radiate. From expert-approved dermocosmetics to everyday essentials, we have the perfect match for your skin and your budget. Our skincare specialists are on hand, ready to help you find the best for your skin. Stock up on skincare, cosmetics, and fragrances at Dis-Chem, your ultimate skincare destination. Offers valid until 15 March.
Mzansi with only 6 numbers to match play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 82 million rand in total estimated jackpots this Tuesday. Do not delay. Play Powerball for an estimated 55 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 27 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app or cell phone banking. Panda, Pusha, Play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery. And that is it for us for today. Thank you so much for joining us. John Pullman is up next from 3 to 6 p.m. hosting 702 Drive. It's 3 o'clock.
This is EWN.
A fire at the Cape Town International Airport causes disruptions and police deploy to Coronationville as water protest continues.